we're starting to finally hit our groove, you know, kind of early, so that's good. So I'm happy with that. Off the layoff with having to recover wasn't really ideal, but the progress that's happening right now is good. So you know, just gonna trust the process, do our part, and let Max be Max. And
feels good, man. Feels good to be back. I mean, I was out because of I had no control of being out. I mean, so it's finally nice to have a fight booked, to be back, have a date, have an opponent, BMF title line. Life's good right now.
As the highly anticipated rematch with McGregor looms on the horizon, Max Holloway's training camp has shifted into overdrive, with every detail meticulously fine-tuned to leave no stone unturned in the pursuit of victory. Shifting focus to Holloway's preparation, he's been relentlessly hitting the weights, meticulously adding strategic mass for his transition to 170 pounds. This marks a profound departure from his previous lightweight cuts, where he openly admitted to bulking up the wrong way.
Yeah, that's good. Man, if we can go up a little bit.
Usually in the beginning of camp, we got to do a little bit of everything, just to camp is go time, right? So yeah, he's got to do everything, but we just giving him a little bit less volume to begin with. Today we're doing a lot of hinging movements, working on his hip extension, trying to get him a little bit more explosive.
As we delve deeper, it becomes clear that Max Holloway's coaching staff has come to realize that he's a unique force to be reckoned with, often defying conventional fight strategy. Every so often, he reminds us all why he once held the top spot and earned the coveted BMF title, and as a result, his team has learned to put their faith in his instincts even when they contradict their carefully laid out game plans.
guys, he's a BMF. He's different, so you know, gotta trust that. It's always worked. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. He works hard. He always works hard. But you know, sometimes you gotta trust in the fighter's ability and their mindset. You know, and if there's anybody that is that exception, man, that's Max.
In a stark contrast, the opposing camp, led by none other than the infamous McGregor, has adopted a noticeably subdued approach, opting to let their tireless efforts in training speak volumes, rather than resorting to the flashy bravado that has often defined the Irishman's public persona.
Oh, it's amazing. It's so good. The morale here in this gym is starting.
And I,
Sensational. My home.
yeah. Are you feeling?
Feel great. You
Yeah.
feel absolutely amazing when you start out and this man. Exceptional. No corners clipped. You know, no flash or. We've been quiet this camp.
Yeah.
We've been hard work. So that's confidence. You know, there's a lack of confidence if we need to share things or get this ego boost. We don't need it. We're gonna do it on the night.
In a highly anticipated rematch, Conor McGregor faces off against Max Holloway, an opponent he first encountered 13 years ago. McGregor reveals that he has a genuine affinity for rematches, citing the compelling storylines and lucrative business opportunities they present. However, he's also keen to emphasize that this bout is a far cry from their initial meeting, highlighting the significant increase in power he's gained since moving up to welterweight.
I love a rematch. Who doesn't love the story builds, the tension builds, the fans get excited, they've got comparisons, it's great for business. I'm all for a good rematch. And yeah, there you go. Max's name is Holloway. I'm happy with it. Put the name on. You know, there's a different thud when you fight against him. I fought a match against Max many years ago. I look forward to my improvements on it.
Max Holloway himself articulated a profound sense of relief and palpable excitement at finally returning to a full training camp. He shared how an involuntary period on the sidelines, devoid of his usual control, makes this comeback feel exceptionally meaningful. Holloway is thrilled to have a fight now locked in, complete with a fixed date, a formidable opponent, and the prestigious BMF title on the line. He readily admits that no camp ever feels easy, regardless of his extensive UFC career. Still, he wholeheartedly embraces the demanding grind of preparation, anticipating the powerful excitement and ultimate release that come with finally stepping back into competition.
Man, there's no easy end into camps, bro. There's none. I've been fighting forever, bro. Been in the UFC forever. There's no easy into anything with these coaches. I think it's gonna be an easy end, and then we just end up going 100 miles per hour. So it is what it is. Like I said, I can't even keep count how many camps I had. So I'm just happy that we're here. You know, it brings a certain type of excitement back into me. Like, yeah, it's camp, and you know, at the end of all this hard work, I get to punch and kick someone and not feel bad about it.
Dustin Poirier believes Holloway would become an even more dangerous striker with a move to welterweight. If he were to face McGregor at 170 pounds, Poirier argues, Holloway's already legitimate lightweight power would only intensify. He reasons that carrying extra size would add significant force to those sharp, well-timed shots.
What did you know? What are the biggest improvements you saw in Max in each time you fought him?
The last time I fought him, punching power, for sure. He was sitting down on his punches more, and I could feel the power. In the second fight, it was more the output Max, volume, but not a whole lot of knockdown power. So Max for sure is a volume puncher, but at 55, when I fought him last, he had power behind his shots, and I got to think at 170, he's gonna have even more power. Because Max can punch now, man. He's not just a volume puncher, he can finish fights.
Yeah.
In its own fight breakdown, MMA Pros acknowledges the 5-year layoff presents a formidable challenge in predicting the outcome. They cite Holloway's seasoned expertise in 5-round contests and the significant physical adjustment McGregor must make at 170 pounds as critical variables.
And don't pick with emotion. I'm talking MMA math.
Dude, 170 pounds. You haven't fought in half a decade. If the fight was 3 rounds, I would think, God, the Conor's got a good chance. I mean, he may still have a good chance, but you're half a decade sitting out, and then you're going in there, Max Holloway, who's an expert at fighting 5 rounds, and he's 170 pounds. You're not going to knock him out easy. His chin at 170 compared to 145 is going to be completely different. If I had to bet, Max.
Deep, like, to win or by knockout?
Decision.
Discussing motivation and legacy, O'Malley commends McGregor for his unwavering dedication to his original ambitions, building wealth and providing for his family. He highlights McGregor's steadfast focus, never losing sight of that goal over the years. Furthermore, O'Malley ponders the unique privilege fans hold, witnessing the entire career arcs of legendary fighters like McGregor and Mike Tyson unfold in real time.
If you go back and you watch early Conor McGregor clips, he talks about, I'm fighting for one reason, and that is to make a lot of money and take care of my family. And when we were in Ireland and we went to this pub, all he did was hang out with his family. I've never seen a group of people so happy, and I was like, damn, this guy went and did and got everything he wanted, and people are just like hating on the fact that he's not still fighting. So
still though, baby, he's back.
He is back. He's back, and it's great. But I'm just saying, like, you really see a guy who said this years ago, this is what I'm gonna do, and he went and did it.
Holloway confidently dismisses any concerns about a move to welterweight. For him, weight is simply a number, never an inherent disadvantage. He expresses genuine belief in his physique, asserting he fits the division perfectly. There's zero hesitation about stepping up to face McGregor at 170 pounds, rather than remaining in his accustomed weight class.
Like I said, man, weight is nothing but a number. You know, a lot of people keep saying, oh, he's small this, small that. We're gonna find out Saturday night, you know. It is what it is. So I can't wait, man. I'm grateful that UFC blessed me with this opportunity, and you know, against and good news. So at the end of the day, you know, I just can't wait to go out there and you know, have some fun.
Yeah. How much do you think you're gonna, you know, weigh on fight night?
I'm gonna be a good size. I'm a pretty good size 170. I can tell you that much, you know.
Regarding McGregor, Holloway's stance is unequivocal. He's training for a dangerous peak condition opponent. The 5-year layoff will not create any false sense of security. His entire camp is rigorously built around confronting the absolute best version of McGregor, not a diminished or rusty one. Holloway emphasizes this mindset as the sole responsible approach to such a high-stakes bout. For him, underestimating McGregor is never an option, no matter how long he's been absent from competition.
I'm getting ready for a dangerous Conor McGregor. I think it's going to be a healthy Conor McGregor. I think it's going to be the best version we ever saw. And that's the things that excite me. You know, that excite me. The best Conor McGregor I get to see come July 11th. And when I go out there and do the things that I know I can and will do to him, it's going to be a great night. I need a big finish. And if not a big finish, just a dominant, exciting win. You know, like, yeah, you can be dominant in a fight, but not exciting. That can hurt your stocks. So at the end of the day, I got to go out there, be exciting, raise up my stock, and, we see what UFC want to do next.
Reflecting on his career, Holloway looks back at his loss to Alexandra Volkanovski 4 years ago and stresses just how important self-belief was in moving past that setback rather than letting it define him. He credits his continued success since then to simply putting in the work day after day and tuning out the critics who doubted whether he had much left in the sport. For Holloway, that mindset of trusting the process over outside noise has become a defining part of how he's approached his career ever since.
I mean, self-belief is one hell of a drug, man. You know, it's one hell of a drug, man. Like you said, bro, there's a bunch of people telling me after that fight that, I'm not going to be able to do this, I'm not going to be able to do that. You need to, I don't know, maybe you call it quits. And a lot of people are just telling me that, maybe he's done in the sport and this and that. The beautiful thing is I knew where I was, bro, you have one off night, it sucks, Having one off night sucks, but if you're having one off night multiple days, I understand. But that was just one off night, and people are gonna talk, and you can't listen. I knew where it is. I know how great I can be and what I can do.
Turning to their preview of the McGregor-Holloway matchup, Kamaru Usman and Henry Cejudo break down what it's going to take for McGregor to come out on top. Cejudo places heavy emphasis on patience and tactical balance, arguing that McGregor's ability to stay disciplined and pick his spots could be the deciding factor in securing the win.
Conor McGregor is back, taking on Max Blessed Holloway. I mean, it's a phenomenal fight. Not just a phenomenal fight, it's a phenomenal card.
He's gonna have to be patient with this fight. He's gonna have to be patient and really find that timing. With Max Holloway, bro, he's just gonna move, he's gonna punch. If Max plays the distance game a little bit and kicks Conor a little bit and gets him kind of the fatigue, he's in trouble, dude. So Conor really does have to be patient, maybe take a couple of shots to eventually counter him with that beautiful left, what he did to Eddie Alvarez, and just catch him, dude. I would say be patient and counter, but it's 5 years, Kamaru. It's not 2 years, it's not 3 years, it's not 4 years, it's 5 years, man.
Continuing the breakdown, Cejudo acknowledges the 5-year layoff is a much bigger gap than most comebacks, though he still gives McGregor's power a puncher's chance to get the job done regardless of the time away. Kamaru pushes back on that reasoning, arguing patience could actually backfire by letting Holloway settle into his preferred rhythm from the outside and rack up points without much resistance.
But if anybody can get it done with power, it is Conor McGregor. And if he does get it done, there's a fight between him and you know who. Justin, the highlight Gaethje. She was in my DMs. She was in my DMs.
Listen. I get what you're saying, but I think you just said two contradicting things there. You're saying that if its distance is controlled only from the outside, Max Holloway can land kicks, land shots, and eventually pull away with this fight. But then you're also saying that Conor McGregor,
kind of like point fight a little.
Exactly.
Adding to Ariel Helwani's take, he says he saw him McGregor-Holloway coming all along, never really viewing any other return opponent as a realistic option once talk of a comeback started swirling. He frames it as a genuinely major UFC event, pointing to McGregor's return from a lengthy layoff and Holloway's move up in weight as the two storylines that make this fight so significant on its own.
I told you from the beginning, it's Conor. He's coming back July 11th, Max Holloway, 175 rounds. I told you this from the beginning. I never even infused another name. I never even interjected with another name. I never even threw out the possibility of another name. It was always Conor, Max, July 11th, International Fight Week, the rematch fight that happened way back when, first UFC on FS1 show, 2013, I believe, in Boston. And so the Mac is back, and it's against Max, and I like the fight. Max has never fought at 170 in the UFC. Conor hasn't fought since 2021. We just saw Mike Perry come back, but obviously he's been fighting a bunch since 2020. Conor's not done any fighting, but this is a big deal. This is a big deal for the UFC. It's a big deal for Paramount Plus. They need those subs. They need superstars. And as I said from the beginning, May was a great card. Khamzat and Sean. June, White House. July 11th, International Fight Week, Conor. Philly, August, Islam. That's a great stretch for the company right there.
Building on that, Helwani says he's genuinely excited to see how McGregor looks after so much time away, and he expects the hype leading into fight week to reach a massive scale given the names involved. He also frames this as a huge opportunity for Holloway to raise his profile on a bigger stage than he's ever fought on before. For Helwani, this goes beyond just another fight for both men. It's shaping up to be a defining moment in the spotlight of their careers.
So I'm excited to see him back. I'm excited to see how he looks. I think the build-up's going to be fun. I think he's missed it. Genuinely, he's worked very hard to get here. Great opportunity for Max, obviously, after the Charles fight. You wouldn't have thought that he would get an opportunity that was bigger than that one, but here he is. Bigger stage, bigger name, bigger opponent, primetime International Fight Week, and that card will likely have Patty, Gable Steveson. That's big time stuff. That's old school International Fight Week. So
on the matchup itself, the Barnhill brothers emphasize McGregor's power, precision, and the size advantage he'll carry at 170 pounds, arguing those traits alone make him a serious threat regardless of the layoff. If the fight does end early, they believe it's far more likely to come by way of a McGregor finish than the other way around, pointing to his knockout ability as the clearest path to a quick result.
So I would venture to say that Conor McGregor, even after all these years off, is probably more of a power puncher than Charles Oliveira. So if he's able to utilize that bigger frame, 5 years off is bad for ring rust and things like that. But if he's strong and more physically commanding than a Max Holloway, and we saw Max Holloway have issues with the power of even a 155er in Charles Oliveira, I would assume that he might have some trouble with the power of Conor McGregor. Also, like you said, the laser pinpoint accuracy that he punches with, very high level.
The breakdown also zeroes in on the southpaw orthodox dynamic, explaining how McGregor's lifelong experience against right-handed fighters gives him a subtle but real advantage. Though the analysis leaves the full tactical implications for the fight itself, it's clear this is a layer Holloway hasn't had to deal with often in his career. The commentator points out that McGregor has spent years mastering open stance tactics like doubling up with the power side, whether that's using the jab to gauge distance before unloading with the left hand or following a left punch with a left side kick. Techniques that simply don't exist in orthodox versus orthodox matchups.
Also, a thing that sticks out to me is Conor McGregor, we all know, is a southpaw, and he's very good at fighting southpaw, and there's just less left-handed people in the world than there are right-handed. So if you are a southpaw and you've been coming through a gym or you've been coming through the rankings, you're used to seeing ortho more than orthodox guys are used to seeing southpaws. Now, I'm sure Max Holloway has filled all of his training rounds lately with southpaw fighters and is looking at tactics from the open stance, but Conor McGregor has the experience in the open stance, and he's also really good with some of the primary tactics, like, for instance, doubling up with the power side, right? Whether that's you throw a jab up here to feel, and then you throw 2 times with the left hand.
On the pressure aspect, the hosts believe the weight of the moment could serve as a genuine factor for Holloway, one that could either push him to rise to the occasion or potentially cause him to fold under it. They also raise questions about how his durability will translate up at 170, wondering whether the added size and power he's facing could test him in ways he hasn't dealt with before.
And at 170, I do think that Max Holloway is going to be slightly slower, which means his legs aren't going to be quite as, sharp under him. He's not going to last as long with that high pressure and cardio that he usually has. And Conor McGregor, like we said, he's a sniper at the end of the day. He's got heavy hands. He knows he can box well. The one thing that sticks out stylistically and on a technical side is Conor's got great head movement, but he also does leave his head in the fire zone a little bit too much, right? He'll throw a couple shots and slip down. Great head movement, but sometimes he almost admires his work from down there.
That covers the full breakdown on Max Holloway versus Conor McGregor. With McGregor's power and size advantage at 170, going up against Holloway's activity, durability, and championship pedigree, This one has all the makings of a genuinely unpredictable fight. So we want to hear from you. Who's got your pick and how do you see it going? Drop your predictions down in the comments below. Let us know what you're most excited to see on Fight Night. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our coverage leading up to July 11th. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.